Alright, so now we want to animate Lawyer 1. So we're going to go into iClone. So I'm opening iClone which is showing up in the middle, but I'll move it onto the other side. And oh, all I did to do that is I just pressed that button. It's literally as simple as that, which is crazy. But I just opened iClone, and that will bring her into a format that we can, into an iClone project where we can animate her body and her face, and then bring that directly into Unreal. And if you get a license for when you get your license for Character Creator, you'll probably also get an iClone license. It's what you'll want to do, right? And we want... Ooh. We don't want to update that now. But basically, we have our character now in iClone, and iClone is great because you can obviously animate her body, but you can also animate her face, which is great. So let's do it. Let's give her some animations, which we can apply any animation we want from any FBX or Mixamo files using this other program, 3D Exchange, and I guess I'll show you how to do that in another tutorial. But let's say we want her to be dancing. It's not the best dance. Maybe she's talking. Female. Oh. Yeah, that's something a lawyer would do. Talking like that. Great. So all we have to do if we want to actually apply this animation to her and then import it into Unreal is say record. So we're recording this, but we actually want her to be saying something. So we have about 500 frames of her doing that, and we'll say... So what we do next is make sure you're looking at this little screen right there for this part. There's this iPhone app called Live Face. And Live Face is an app that works directly with iClone so that we can animate the character's face. So we are going to, so as you can see, we have the face, and then you go plugins, motion live, and then we just have to type in the IP address that's at the top of the app. So let me just turn it on, and let's preview it first, make sure it's working. Yes, it is working. It appears to be working, so that's pretty exciting. And then if we also want to, we can also record audio, which is amazing. So we'll record audio too and get started. The prosecution has the following to say in this case. Alright, so that was my subpar acting, but we now have the prosecution has the following to say in this case. Alright, so that's great. Next step, we have our character, we have our animation. Next up, we have to bring our character into Unreal. So we will use 4.2, I'll create an Unreal 4.27 project where we will import this character. So there's a couple things here. So I'm opening the project now. We'll just say next, virtual production, no starter content, ray tracing disabled. We'll say iClone import. Because that's all we're really doing with this, is demonstrating this iClone import process. The other thing we have to do is we have to go to this, which is the auto setup for Unreal Engine 4, which is how we basically, we have to download this plugin so you go download, and then you go through this whole process of downloading it. I already have it downloaded, so once you download it, you'll open it, and then you can just go, it takes you to plugins, and then you'll download it, and you'll say content, plugins, copy content and plugins folders, and then you go documents, Unreal projects. We'll navigate to what we just made. What was it called? iClone import. And then we'll just paste that. So now we have this plugin in our project. So that way this project will work with iClone. So Real Illusion, we want to enable that, restart now. So obviously there's a lot that I'm doing here. I should probably do individual tutorials. Each one of these different softwares, DAZ, Character Creator, iClone, they all deserve tutorials of their own. But this is the basics. As you can, I hope this gives you kind of a basic idea of how to do everything. So how to go through this whole process. So that's our Character Creator. We want the iClone. So what we'll do is we will Lawyer. We're naming her Lawyer, and we are going to go to Unreal Live Link, which you have to have downloaded in iClone, and we want to transfer this file into Unreal, and then this will move that character file directly into the Unreal project that happens to be open. Crazy stuff. I don't know if there. I'm trying to think if there's any process. If you look online, it'll walk you through the whole process of how to install this plugin into your... I showed you how to install the plugin into Unreal, but you might also have to install it into iClone somewhere. I think you should actually just be... As soon as you download it, it'll work. But yeah, this command, this terminal, basically what's happening is it's going through whatever process of importing the character into Unreal with all the shaders. Because basically these Real Illusion characters from Character Creator and from iClone are pretty detailed. There's all these different shaders and all these other aspects of them that are more detailed than just an FBX like we imported in the other tutorial. But this will basically take a little while, but once it's done, we'll have our character in Unreal. So I'll pause the recording while we wait for it, and I'll see you in Unreal in just a sec. Okay, so that actually only ended up taking another sec. So that's exciting. But here she is. Here is our Lawyer in the Unreal Engine she made it, which is exciting because now she's in here and we can animate her and put her in a sequence and all that, and that's pretty cool. However, before we do that, so this just imports automatically, but what we're actually going to want is this skeletal mesh. So once we have our skeletal mesh, then we can do what we did earlier and import and apply the animation. So in order to get this animation, we are going to export the animation for it's 500 frames. So we're going to go File, Export, Export FBX, range 1 to 500, and target tool is Unreal, 30 frames per second, that's fine, and export. So we're going to export that to, we're going to say Lawyer Animation. Save. So this will probably just take a sec. It's 500 frames of animation. with body and face. So now that we have that, we want to make a folder for all of our animations. Animations. And we can then go to, we save that to our desktop. We said lawyer, I think we called it lawyer animation, right? So now we want to import it. And this is important here. So it doesn't take forever to import. We're going to say lightweight shader, right? Because we don't actually have to import any shaders here. We're just applying the animation that's going to work with the skeleton. So it doesn't really matter. So lightweight shader. So it's loading up. And then this comes up. And we don't want to import mesh. We want to go lawyer skeleton. But this is the other thing that I recently discovered. It takes a really long time if you import this with this custom sample rate of 0. So change that to 60. That's probably the most important thing in this whole tutorial, because for some reason it just takes such a long time. Custom sample rate 60. Major hack. I haven't shown you how long it takes when you don't do this, but it's good to know. So import. And right here, you can kind of see that it's going through, and it is importing as we speak. And there she is. We now have our fully animated face and all character that we can apply to our character. So that was a skeletal mesh. So then we can go use animation asset. There we go. So we can now use this and put it in the sequencer and make a whole scene of our lawyer. We can add the audio file that we have, or probably use ADR, some other audio file, but you have a reference that you can use based on that we did earlier, and that's kind of helpful. But yeah. So this is great. We have our here is how you basically make a character, animate the character, make a character with Character Creator, animate the character with iClone, and shoot that character in Unreal. And if you want more info on how to actually shoot a project in Unreal, there's that sequencer tutorial that I made last week that you should watch. But thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope it helps you. I know it was a ton of info. Please let me know if there's more specific aspects of this whole pipeline that you want me to go into. But you can see that there's really there's no limit to what you can do here. You can make any person. I'm sure it's just going to keep getting easier and easier, though, with metahumans, and maybe we won't need this expensive Real Illusion software. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.